Welcome to the 7th episode of NPSee, the series that aims to bring the unimportant NPCs from games to light. Let us dive right in to the vast province of Cyrodiil in the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion. Back to Skingrad we go this week to examine another owner of a business there. This time, we look not at a vintner, but at a baker. Salmo is a high elf man that makes the most glorious sweet rolls in all of Cyrodiil. He spends his time baking and wandering about in his house. When you first ambush Salmo, he exposits,
"A sweet roll? But of course, Salmo is famous for his sweet rolls. One taste, and you are in heaven, on top of the world, yes?"
I'm hungry. And pressing the Skingrad button gets ya.
"I could never leave Skingrad. All my good friends here would die without my sweet rolls. Rest of the world must suffer as best it can without me."
Suffering indeed. He is very enthusiastic about his craft. Around the town, many people also express their love of Salmo's product. In the book, Alessia Otis's Guide to Skingrad, she writes,
"However, I am certain where you should go to purchase your sweet rolls, to Salmo the baker in the Chapel district. They are delicious."
Now, what does Salmo find delicious? His mouth waters for good jokes.
"I came here because I'm big, or I love to smash."
That's really funny.
He has a sweet tooth for boasts.
"Big, or big weapon, big money."
Well done.
He sets coercion aside.
"Big weapon, big dead."
Oh, please.
And he is utterly disgusted by admiration.
"Big, or big love."
Not now, not now, not now.
I guess he gets enough from himself and the townsfolk. Why do so many people hate admiration so far? I'm making these videos appreciating you all, and you repay me like this!
It's just what I wanted. Very good.
Salmo spends all day and night in his house. He wakes up at 6 a.m. and wanders around his home. At 3, he finds a meal and eats for 2 hours.
Oh!
And generally, he wanders around his house either on the ground floor or upstairs and in his office. He can be found behind his counter, but doesn't stand there that often, as would be expected of a merchant. He heads towards the bedroom at around 10 p.m. to midnight. At no point would he offer project to you, other than that you steal off the shelves, of course, and at no point does he wander in town to deliver anything to any customers. It's a bit sad, considering all the talk of how great he is. Salmo is a citizen of Skingrad, the rich city that appreciates his products. His lack of trading with the player could perhaps indicate that he works to provide only for those residents that commission him. Maybe he just doesn't like Crow. Rude! Or it is some sort of flaw in game design or other. Either way, I wish him well, even though he won't share with me. Salmo's home is a nice one, near identical to Tamika's in design. His resides in a more cramped part of town, just down the street from her in the southeast corner of Skingrad. His house presses up against the Two Sisters Lodge, a much larger and perhaps a bit intimidating establishment. Inside, it is clear that this house is one of a baker. On the ground floor, there are racks of enticing baked goods, sweet and savory, and a counter for making deals, or perhaps baking meals. To the back roars a fire, though not set up for baking itself. Behind the counter is a door that leads to Salmo's basement, a simple one that is used for storage. In particular, there is a trove of flour and grains for his craft. A nice touch. Traveling up to the second floor, we find a quaint general living area and a bookshelf with some light reading. On the top floor, there are 3 separate rooms, the nearest serving as storage, the second as Salmo's study of sorts, and the last being his bedroom. Overall, the house is dressed up nicely and generally an appealing living space, akin to most Skingrad homes. It is comfortable indeed, though lacking in worthy loot for the player. In his pockets, he keeps his key and some coins, but he can carry a sweet roll or some other food if that is his meal choice for the day. Why would he not sample his own delicious products? Like most peasants, he throws punches before running away. "I'm sorry, dear baker. I'm sorry to do this to you." He's wearing a sackcloth shirt, pants, and rough leather shoes. It is odd considering his popularity that he adorns himself in rags while at home, but that is kind of relatable. But of course, I would never murder such a sweet man. Sweet man. Much like his sweet rolls feel when they grace someone's lips, I shall repay him with a kiss. If only he would trade with me, then I wouldn't have to do this, but I probably still would. When I build worlds for whatever reason, role-playing games or personal stories, I find it easy to forget the small roles that need filling. that's a pun. I'd look up lists like medieval town jobs to try and figure that out. It is good to see Salmo as the source of Sweetrolls, such an essential part of Tamriel. May we henceforth never forget bakers. Let the NPC Salmo be NPC. Thank you for joining me, and...
Subscribe!
He has a sweet tooth for boasts.